What is going on, guys? It's your boy Dylan the Villain, and we're coming back at you with some more Total Extreme Wrestling 2020. We are playing as ECW. It is Saturday, week 4 of May 2001. It is time to do a little bit of living dangerously. We are here at the first ECW pay-per-view of the year, of the save, I should say. We are in New York City, in the Hammerstein. We're in New York, in the Hammerstein Ballroom, in front of a sold-out crowd of 2,600 people. This is the first pay-per-view for ECW back in the pre-show that had little heat, embarrassing wrestling. The Bad Street Boys defeat the Haas brothers, when Joey Matthews pinned Charlie Haas with a double Rebel Yelp. The match got a 20. Ross Haas with a 15. Charlie Haas with a 16. Joey Matthews with a 21. And Christian York with a 20. The crowd hated everybody that was involved. They booed it. Booed everybody in the ring. It's okay. We're going to move on to... That's why it's the pre-show. We're going to move on to the next pre-show matchup, which is a 10-man battle royal. Which I probably know who's going to win this. In a pre-show with a decent reaction from the crowd. Sean O'Haire won. Yeah, that's who. I'd let the game decide who won this one. Sean O'Haire won the battle royal in 14:46, with other members of the Final Four being the Blue Mini, PCO, and Too Cold Scorpio, with Blue Mini being the final elimination and Sean O'Haire having the most eliminations throughout the course of the match. Tony Mamaluke debuted his full-blooded Italian gimmick, and he got it very good. The crowd wasn't too particularly thrilled to see PCO and Tony Mamaluke. And Sean O'Haire seemed off his game, so that's terrible. That got a 51, but we move on to our opening contest of the night, and a bout that had a decent reaction from the crowd in Subpart Wrestling. Nunzio defeats Tajiri and Super Crazy in order of elimination. Is Super Crazy, then Tajiri. Super Crazy was struggling to keep up with everybody else. He got a 25. Nunzio with a 38. Tajiri with a 39. Super Crazy with a 25. The television title, if storyline advances but loses heat, that's not supposed to happen. The crowd did not like Super Crazy, which is crazy. He was super freaking over. Go back and watch some old school ECW. Super Crazy was super freaking over. Announcing color commentary, you get a match boost. Jay Missile did some excellent ringside work with Tajiri there, but he wasn't able to get up the win. Nunzio basically becoming the #1 contender for the World Television Championship title. The match got a 38. I mean, it could have did better on the main card, but it is what it is. We move on to the next segment, and it is for the tag team titles. In a bout that had a decent reaction from the crowd. In Separate Wrestling, the Minnesota Stretching Crew defeats Roadkill and Danny Dorian when Brock Lesnar pinned Roadkill with the over-the-head, belly-to-belly. The Minnesota Stretching Crew win the ECW World Tag Team titles. Shelton Benjamin was struggling to keep up with everybody else. Shelton Benjamin with a 21, Brock Lesnar with a 46, Danny Dorian with a 37, and Roadkill with a 38. Crowd still does not like Shelton Benjamin. Not in color commentary, getting the match boost, and the match got a 41. So we have new ECW World Tag Team Champions, Brock Lesnar, and young rookies Brock Lesnar and Shelton Benjamin. Hopefully these two men have a bright future. A lot of people are saying that one of these two men are destined to be the next big thing in professional wrestling, but we are going to have to see about that. We're going to move on to the next segment. Yes. All of a sudden we hear some music. We hear Perfect Strangers by Deep Purple play. And everybody already knows who it is. It's Shane Douglas. Shane Douglas is back in ECW. Shane Douglas walks through the curtain, comes down to the ring, and he goes, "You see, I'm not a man who usually comes crawling back somewhere with his tail between his legs. I'm usually more of a man who holds on to his pride. But even a man with the pride, as much pride as mine, knows that this offer is just too good to pass up. That this offer is too good to pass up. And the offer is that I have come back to reform the triple threat of professional wrestling. And I see two young men who has more talent in their pinky finger than half the men in the back in the locker room. And so they were looking for a tag team partner in their tag team matchup here tonight. And I answered their call. And I'm going to take them underneath my wing. And I'm going to show them everything I know about this business inside and out. Because these two men, not only with us three together are we going to become the triple threat, but these two men are the next evolution in professional wrestling. This segment got a 70. Shane Douglas basically introducing Randy Orton and Mark Jindrak as the new members of the triple threat. Shane Douglas has come back to ECW just in time for the pay-per-view too. And he basically said, hey, I'm making the triple threat. And here they are. Here's the two guys that I want with me in my stable. And they have a three-man tag team matchup. And in a good match, Shane Douglas in the Ego Trip defeats Spike Dudley. And the Dudleys, with Mark Jindrak, pinned Spike Dudley with a mark of perfection. Randy Orton was weak link, struggling to keep up with everybody else. Spike Dudley with a 48. Bubba with a 67. Devon with a 65. Shane Douglas with a 64. Mark Jindrak with a 43. And Randy Orton with a 33. Tammy Cinch did some ring work, and Mark Jindrak and Tammy Cinch have pretty good chemistry together. Oh, wow, we have a new triple threat. We're going to have to go make that stable. And the match almost got a 60. Not bad. Not bad at all. We go on to a match to basically fill up the card here. The match got a 51. Not bad. Masato Tanaka defeats D'Lo Brown by pinfall. Tanaka with a 52 and D'Lo Brown with a 44. And they have pretty good chemistry together in the lifted match. Color commentary gave the match a boost. The match got a 51. Not bad at all. Ah, yes. Yes. Okay. So. Oh, crap. I messed up that booking, didn't I? Anyway. Nunzio was supposed to face Lance Strom in this, but as we know, Nunzio already wrestled here tonight in a triple threat to open up the show. I booked this completely wrong. Nunzio was not supposed to be in that first matchup. No wonder I was just like, why? Anyway. So what's supposed to happen is Lance Strom comes out to the ring and Nunzio is coming out to the ring. Little Guido's music hits and he's nowhere to be found. And Samoa Joe is carrying him over his shoulder and he throws him down. He throws him down on the walkway there. Nunzio looks like he is passed out cold, and Samoa Joe inserts himself into the finals of the TV title tournament. It gains some heat. Joe's Gonna Kill You advances, and let's see what their match did. I was hoping their match would do a lot better than this. In an extremely short match, Samoa Joe defeats Lance Strom by submission with a Kuja Hajime. Samoa Joe wins the ECW World Television title. Match got a 49. I was hoping it would do better. Lance Strom with a 49. Samoa Joe with a 56. Both storylines advance, and color commentary gave the match a boost, and Lance Strom is getting better at his gimmick. Let's see here. Inexperienced. And Samoa Joe. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Alright. So Samoa Joe is the new ECW World Television Champion. He pretty much inserted himself into the matchup, and he took Nunzio's spot and said, "This is my spot, and I'm gonna take the title." And he won the title. We go on to one of our big main events of tonight, as in Raven takes on Tommy Dreamer. In this match, it's pretty much one-sided. Raven just beats the holy hell out of Tommy Dreamer, but Tommy Dreamer, you know, he has that never say die attitude. He's not going to give up. He's not going to quit. Raven just beating the holy hell out of Dreamer. Dreamer not giving up. Dreamer not giving up. Dreamer's not going to quit. All of a sudden, Raven hits the power driver onto a chair. Pins Dreamer 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the match. Raven celebrates. Tommy Dreamer is busted up pretty bad. He's not moving. He looks to be seriously injured. And out comes Beulah McGillicuddy, which is Raven's girlfriend. She comes out to the ring, and she checks on Tommy, and Raven goes to grab her. And he's standing over her, and she's looking up, and she stands up. And she's looking down at Tommy Dreamer. And Raven then smiles real big, and he puts out his arms as to go hug her. And she kind of doesn't want to at first, and then she fully embraces Raven. And then she spits on Tommy Dreamer. And then she leaves the ring. She basically turned her back on Tommy once again. This is a never-ending story. Never-ending story. Raven did work, did some great promo work. The segment got a 57. I need to do some better ratings, or the pay-per-view people are going to be mad. So I hope the next couple of matches can get some good ratings. I was hoping this one would be one of the bangers of the night, but we're going to have to find out about that. But Beulah McGillicuddy turning her back on Tommy Dreamer to team up with Raven. What is going on? What is going on here? We will have to find out real soon. We move on to the next segment, and it is the big hyped up matchup as we've seen on ECW television, and about that had great heat and good wrestling. Jerry Lynn defeats Rey Mysterio Jr. in almost 13:30 by pinfall with a fast roll-up. This was a very high-paced competitive matchup between these two men. Rey Mysterio with a 55 and Jerry Lynn with a 58, so Jerry Lynn was a little bit more popular. Rey Mysterio Jr. is getting better at his gimmick. Color commentary gave the match a boost, and Paul Heyman needs to be removed from Road Agent, and I keep forgetting. Jerry Lynn picks up the big win tonight. You know that has to put him in line for a World Heavyweight Title shot for sure. Picking up a big win against the main roster talent, Rey Mysterio Jr. We are going to move on to the next segment, and it is one of the matches that I knew was going to, it was a little bit too long. That's good to know. That's good to know. That hurt the match. One of the matches that I knew was going to do good, and about that had superb wrestling and great heat. Sabu defeats Rob Van Dam by pinfall with a triple jump moonsault following interference by Bill Alfonso. Rob Van Dam was calling for the Van Terminator, and Bill basically whacked RVD in the head with the chair, costing RVD the matchup, and Bill Alfonso once again teams up with Sabu. I guess he thinks Sabu is a better investment than Rob Van Dam. We're going to move on to the next segment, which I believe is a promo. It is. And Bill Alfonso basically celebrates with Rob Van Dam as the crowd looks on in disbelief that Bill Alfonso would turn his back on Rob Van Dam in favor of Sabu. And it's time for our main event, which is Rhyno versus Steve Carnio. We didn't have time to hype up the pay-per-view. Most of the time I hype up the pay-per-view. But we didn't have enough TV time to fill that out. So, the main event is Rhyno versus Steve Carnio for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. In an exceptional match, 69. Nice. I knew these two guys were going to do an amazing job. In an exceptional match, Rhyno defeats Steve Carnio in 12:58 by pinfall with a Rhyno driver. Rhyno makes defense number 2 of the ECW World Heavyweight Title. Rhyno still keeping that undefeated streak here in ECW. Rhyno with a 70 and Steve Carnio with a 65. I knew these two guys were going to blow the roof off. The world title storyline advances. Steve Carnio rolls out of the ring. Rhyno is in the ring. Rhyno is in the ring celebrating. All of a sudden, we hear some music that we haven't heard in an ECW arena, let alone in any arena. And it's 3-6 Mafia playing over the loudspeakers. And we know that New Jack likes gangster rap, but this is a little bit different than that. And it's talking about somebody getting their ass kicked. And all of a sudden, we see Mark Henry come out to the ring. It is one and only the monster, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. And he looks jacked. And Rhyno has that face, and Mark Henry looks that face. And they're staring each other down. And Paul Heyman runs out, and he calls security. And he's trying to get security to break these two men apart. But they just stare each other down. Mark Henry does not lay a hand on Rhyno, and Rhyno doesn't attack Mark Henry. These two men stare each other down as Paul Heyman rushes the ring with security. They keep these two men separated as we finish ECW Living Dangerously here at New York Hammerstein Ballroom. We got to get better than a 72. We did not get better than a 72. Oh boy. The TV people are not going to be happy about that. We're going to give some love to Rhyno. Good job, Steve Carnio. Good job, Steve Carnio. We have some people that I don't want y'all to see, that y'all see is on the roster here. Compliment on a good performance. Compliment on a good performance. And we'll go ahead and give... let's see here. We're going to go ahead and give... Tommy Dreamer, and we're going to compliment on a good performance. Rhyno seemed pleased. Steve Carnio seemed pleased. And Tommy Dreamer seemed pleased. That is the end of this pay-per-view, guys. Let's see what we got here. I usually like going through the news and everything. But that is, Fit Finlay wins the title at XPW. He wins their vacant television championship. We might have to see if we can sway old Fit Finlay to come to ECW. That'll be a cool addition and signee to pick up here. Try to get some other people here. That is Paige's mom and Dwayne Gill, one of the big stars in the WWF save. Anyway, guys, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for liking the video. Thank y'all for commenting. If you are new to the channel and like what you have just watched and want to check out more and check out future episodes of ECW and the WWF save or other stuff that we do here on the channel, check it out. The subscribe icon will be over Dwayne Gill's face. The ECW playlist will be right here. You can go back and watch all the storylines that are going on leading up to Living Dangerously. And if you like the WWF save, want to check out the WWF save, that playlist will be right here. My name is Dylan the Villain, guys. I have some decisions I have to take care of off screen. My name is Dylan the Villain, and like always, guys, if you can't play with each other, do what I do and play with yourself. Thank y'all for watching. We're going to go ahead and save that. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll see you all on the next one.